Morning, Jim Krotov speaking from Moscow. Actually, all my life, especially last years, I'm desperately seeking for philosophers, for thinkers. You see, there was a little difference between philosopher and thinker. For example, mm, Montaigne, Michel de Montaigne, uh, the founder of the modern essayism, was a thinker. Berdyaev, my favorite Russian author, was the thinker. And Kant, I guess, was the thinker, and Hegel was a philosopher. Anyway, I'm looking for the modern people who are thinking broadly, deeply, and so on and so forth. I cannot say that I'm happy in my search. Yesterday, I found a new guy, Alain de Botton. Actually, he lives in Switzerland and in England. It's a sort of international globalistic guy who speaks English mostly and who studied in Harrow in Oxford. So the best education which you can receive in Europe is Oxford and Harrow. But he left his academical career, and he was born in 1969. He left his academic career and published a novel about love, which was sold 2 million copies. So I hope he became a millionaire. And he's very famous now. I think he's more, well, he created a school of love, the official title in London, where he teaches you philosophy of love and philosophy of life. You just pay £200. It's about $400. And in 2 days, you'll receive a whole pack of philosophy. So you'll know that life is not only work, but it's also the art of living. You've never thought about this. So pay £200. What made me smile? In one of his interviews, and he gives a lot of interviews, a lot of them. I hope not for gratis. I hope he's earning his living in such a way. And he says that one day in Oxford, he looked at his professor, he looked at the boots of his professor and thought, what's an ugly boots? How he can walk in such unstylish boots. Incredible. This is a signal to me, who is viewing his boots. I don't bother. We are here. I'm not bothering about looking pretty to you. And after that, he decided to go away from Oxford. Because what does it mean to be a professor of Oxford? Living all your life in a cabinet, and you die, and no one will know about this. Actually, it's a strange criteria. When you die, all the humankind must be in the cause of your death. This is the sense of love, the sense of life. To have a death which will be publicly acclaimed in all media. Just like Jesus' death. Although I'm afraid that Jesus' death went absolutely unnoticed by the media of his times. Just four guys, 30 years after his death and resurrection, described it. And for several centuries, it was just a small cult. And I think we return to the same situation. I will be the priest of the small cult called Christianity, ecumenical church, Eastern Orthodox, Roman Catholic, small. Nobody is interested in poets. It's a small group of people. So this is the future of Christianity, I hope. And they will do everything to reduce Christianity to the small cult of believers, not to the great organization. Well, let us return to Alain de Botton. I've smiled because there is a famous Latin saying uh, which states, Sutor ne ultra crepidam. It's the story from Pliny the Elder about the famous painter Apelles, who once invited his um, shoemaker to tell his opinion about the portrait of Alexander the Great. And Shoemaker said, his shoes, uh, you've depicted it with one small mistake here. Here, this is not how shoes are looking like. Oh, said Apelles, and made and fixed it. And then Apelles, and then Shoemaker said, and in his face, stop, said Apelles. Shoemaker, limit yourself with shoes. Sutor ne ultra crepidam. Crepidam, it's the boots, sandals in Latin. So the same about Alain de Botton. If you are interested in shoes, don't speak about love. And don't state that you're a philosopher, the philosopher. You're not. You're just a pop writer who is making a sort of life hacking, life hacks for bourgeois, and only for them, only for those who can pay $400. But there is another thing, another dimension, because this is Leonardo da Vinci, by the way, from Florence. I bought it there. There is some other way, some other notion, philosophy of boots, philosophy of shoes. You see, first of all, we have a pair of shoes always. Only two shoes are the real shoes. Love is not my business. My love is not my life. Love is a pair of people. If I love and other human doesn't participate in my love, so it's not a semi-love, it's not the real love, it's only an attempt of love. Love begins when it receives an answer. And love is always loving together each other. So love is a sort of communication. Certainly, there is always someone who is the first in the process. Just like in any communication, we don't begin it simultaneously. Someone must be first. And all troubles with love and all joys of love are the troubles and joys of communication or the lack of communication. This is the problem. This is first about boots, shoes, and love. And second, and all meditations of Alain de Botton about love are thoughts of complete atheist. How to organize love, how to make a combination of my love with the love of others, without any sincere interest to others. Absolutely. I am a lone man in the great world, and love is only the projection of my childhood. This is the main idea of Alain de Botton. We love those who resemble our parents. That's all. If our parents made us suffer in our childhood, then we should love someone who made us suffer. So simple. And it's absolutely nonsense, certainly. But I understand now the source of Alain de Botton's thoughts. And let us return to shoes. Alain de Botton wants the shoes to be a signal which attracts your attention, which conquer your heart. So do wear such a shoes that I shall want to love you. These must be stylish shoes, but do I want to be loved by someone who enjoys stylish? Usually, I make my streams in a cassock, just black cassock with the usual cross. And I think that this is unusual for the Westerners. It's unusual in Russia, but Russians will immediately understand that I'm a priest and it's okay. And for the Western, priest must look in another way, not in the Eastern Orthodox way. Certainly, I can make myself stylish. The problem is, a small problem for me, for the professor of Oxford, is that it's very expensive. You see, there are shoes which are called Oxfords. Professors of Oxford don't wear them. They're too expensive. They are for students from the wealthy families. Stylish means, first of all, bourgeois style. Style is something which you can buy and must buy. And so poor people are out of the contest. So poor people cannot love? Huh. You tell me. But what we love when we love, do we love shoes or the person in these shoes? And the first question of philosophy is, we don't know what is inside the shoes. Human is just a skin, eyes, sounds, but this is the outer surface of being, not the inner one. This is the main question of epistemology. How can I know whether what is inside has any connection to what is outside? Nomen inside and phenomena outside. What I see by my eyes, physical eyes, is phenomena, shoes. What I see by my mind or heart is nomen, is something inside these shoes and this skin. The mystery of love is that when I begin love as communication, usually I know only shoes. I see shoes, I see the surface, and I enjoy it, and I love it. And then theoretically, while communication and love with my beloved, we begin to understand and to know, we get to know our inside personalities, which are deeply inside. And we enjoy them also, not only shoes, but hearts. But this is nonsense. This is not how we make love. when I love and I receive a response, because love without response is not a love at all. I stated, when I love these shoes, I immediately love also person in these shoes. So Alain de Botton simply didn't love his professors. And I wonder whether he loved anyone in his life. Because he always looks on the shoes. Man or woman, our surface is just one and the same with which what is inside. Our nature, or we have double nature, monkey and God, image of God. This is the double nature of any human. What part of this nature we enjoy? What part of human we love? Monkey, shoes, or soul, image of God? Both at one and the same moment. They are undivisible. And when we love, when we have troubles, it's not because we are making way from shoes to the heart. The way is just like quantum. We've made this way. Columbus opened Americas, and it took many years for him and for others to open Americas. But love opens another one whom we love immediately. Immediately. And then we live in this country of love. And why it is hard? Because it's a burden to get another human in all his perfection and to live with him as we live with monkey. Get the gorilla from the zoo to your flat. This is what we do when we get married. And still, it's happiness. It's a great journey, but the result we know in the beginning when we became our love communication. And then we are living with this experience. I think this is why love needs eternity. Not because another human is eternal and endless, but because love in itself as a sort of communication, by definition, needs eternity without beginning and without end. And all problems with love are that we are afraid of eternity. We want to make something today. And we are right. It's an existential part of our human nature. We want simultaneously eternity and hic nunc, everywhere, and now in this second. This is the continuation of our double nature of monkey and image of God. Jimmy Krotov, Moscow. Bye. Double nature.